everybody. First of all, respect to you for clicking on this video because I know nowadays it's just pure brain rot. And so the fact that you clicked on a full-length video like this just proves that you're, not completely messed up in the head, and that you actually have some hope still left for you. So respect to you. And so this is how to start and grow a home service business without any ads, step-by-step blueprint. A little bit of a disclaimer for this video: you're gonna hear me just absolutely shit on ads in this video, but I'm not saying that ads are bad. Right now I'm actually moving primarily towards just dialing in, focused on just ad spend for me. This is just for people who are just starting out, or just want to start in general, and this is going to be very useful information. I already recorded this video, that's why you hear me I'll try to not speed up. I just put the camera in the edge here, and it just covered all the words the entire time. So we're gonna put it up here, and here we go. So so in the last 4.5 months, I've done over $25,000 in paid work running my home service business, and I didn't spend a single dollar on ads. So no Google profile, no boosted Facebook posts, no Instagram, no SEO, just hustle, strategy, and the willingness to start small. And so if you're thinking about starting a window cleaning business, a pressure washing, just a home service business in general, but you feel stuck because you don't have a website, branding, or expensive gear, this is exactly the video I wish I had when I was starting out. So I'm going to walk you through how you can do the exact same thing within the next 90 days. Sell before you brand. Here's the first point. Here's the first mindset shift that you need to make, and it's probably one that's going to save you months of wasted time. So most beginners waste weeks, sometimes months, obsessing over the business name, trying to get the perfect logo, setting up an Instagram page, getting some business cards made, designing a website, spending all that money. But let me ask you this: what is the point of that when you don't even have a single job? You haven't even had a single job. So when I started, I had none of that: no brand, no website, no logo. What I did have was an entire city full of people who needed their windows or their gutters cleaned, right? So that's where I started, not online, but on my 2 feet. And I focused on this question: who actually has the problems that I can solve right now? So I found neighborhoods with older homes, the HOA subdivisions with the high curb appeal standards. I looked for small businesses with the glass storefronts, and I didn't build a brand. I built a list of people who needed help, and I started showing up. So don't try to look like a business, be a business by solving a problem and collecting cash. Branding is what you earn after you've proven that people want what you offer. So let's hop right in. Sweat equity beats ads in the beginning, right? So this is where a lot of people get tripped up because they think that the only way to grow is by running ads. But when you don't have results, reviews, referrals, the only thing that works in the beginning is sweat equity, right? So no ads, no funnels, just hustle. So I started by going door to door offering window and gutter cleaning. And I also called some small commercial buildings in the area, like some mom and pop shops, some dentists, some insurance offices, anybody with dirty windows and no in-house maintenance guy, right? And so I didn't have a big marketing plan. I just had a simple script, just hey, I'm a local window gutter cleaner, just finished a house down the street. If you hadn't had yours done in a while, I'd be happy to take a look and give you a quick quote. So that's my door knocking script. So obviously, door knocking, you're getting in front of people face to face. Is that uncomfortable? Absolutely, right? But what's even more uncomfortable and what you need to be scared of is sitting at home with no money and no clients. And so here's what people don't understand. When you do the work yourself, especially early on, you're not just getting paid, you're learning how the business works. So right now in this stage, you're learning how long each job takes, what customers care about, what neighborhoods convert, how to price based on condition and size. And I even did free jobs in the beginning just to get momentum, and it paid off because those people, referred me to other people, and those people referred me to other people. And so this kind of hustle is how you build local trust, earn your first testimonials, and build what people actually want. So no, you don't need money on Facebook ads. You just need to show up, knock, call, quote, repeat. So your city is a funnel. You need to work as if it owes you money. Like your city owes you money. Go. One thing also I was gonna mention here is because just get straight into the door knocking. Like I know that the thought of that sounds uncomfortable, like knocking on somebody's door and like, you know, selling them something. It sounds really uncomfortable. I'm just gonna tell you right now, like if you're not willing to do that, like I don't pretty much like don't start at all. Starting a business, running a business, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna suck, especially in the early stages. So like, bro, I'm telling you, just literally get out there, knock your first door. Literally my first day after. So before this, I also did home service. I was working for another home service company. I quit that job and then just literally the next day went out knocking, right? And got, you know, in that day got $700 worth of jobs, like literally actually $700 worth of jobs. And so you don't, also I'd say you don't need equipment before you sell. So this is what we're going to jump in here. You don't need equipment before you sell. This is huge because it stops more people than almost anything else. They're like, oh, I can't start until I have the right equipment. So look, today I've got a $10,000 setup of like deionized water fed, you know, system, surface cleaner, the pressure washer, you know, the whole shebang, all the ladders, whatever. But when I started, I didn't even have a ladder, right? So I was just knocking doors. Offering window and gutter cleaning, and you know, I just had this one simple rule in my mind: just sell first, buy later. So the reason why I'm doing this thing is you don't have to do this, right? You could go out and just spend, you know, blow all your money on like the craziest equipment. The reason why you don't is because you want to prove to yourself that, you know, you can sell before, you know, you start buying a bunch of stuff you don't even know how to use. So if I was you, I'd book a job, you know, and if I was dead broke, I'd take a deposit on the jobs and then I'd go out and buy the basic tools I needed for the job. And so that's how you avoid debt, avoid overspending, avoid wasting money on gear. You don't even know how to use it, like I just said. To summarize that, what's the point of having $10,000 worth of equipment, but you can't even close one customer, right? So equipment doesn't make you legit, customers do. Start lean, book the job, reinvest, repeat. Okay, next. Rejection is data. It's not failure. So let me be blunt about this. If you're mentioned this previously I just said this, but I'm gonna say it again. If you're afraid of hearing no, you're not ready to be in business yet, because in the early days, you're just gonna get straight rejected, bro. A lot. People will ignore you. They'll say they're not interested. They'll say maybe later. They ghost you. That's not failure though. That's just part of the game, right? So every no is one step closer to a yes. I treated every door knock, every cold call just like a rep in the gym. Not everyone leads to a job, but everyone makes you stronger. So eventually someone's going to say yes, right? And that person might become a $300 customer. And then that customer might, you know, refer you to the entire street. So you don't need a perfect pitch, you know, you just need persistence. Because here's a secret no one tells you. Confidence is not going to come first. Action does. So you're going to build belief in yourself by just showing up. I knocked my first door literally like shaking, you know what I mean? But I still did it, and sold my second door ever for my company, right? And so you just got to get out there. You just got to like balls to the wall, just get out there, go do what you need to do. Next point. So this is humongous point. So, you know, now you're getting some work. This could either be like before, or you could do this first. Honestly, I would say get some of your own work before, get some experience going. But here's something that nobody talks about. Work with the big companies. We're going to be talking about subcontracting here. So don't compete with big companies and work with them. So I also started out as becoming a subcontractor for a larger home service business. And so if you break that down, right, you're not an employee, you're not clocking in. What you're doing is they're like just sending you jobs, and then you go out and do it with your own equipment, all your own stuff, right? And so like, you know, you go out, you do it. So I would say, you know, obviously get yourself set up first. You know, I'd say like get some jobs, get the basic equipment, and then, you know, they can start sending you some work. So this is way better because you're gonna get paid way more than what you'd get paid as if you were just like working for them, like an hourly wage, getting like paid on payroll. You're getting paid like a insane amount more. And instead of spending hours trying to find the next customer, they just like send you an address to the job and you just show up and you knock it out. So this is really good in the early stages, because right now you're doing work, you know what I mean? You're staying busy. And so also, you know, as far as the payout for subcontracting, like, I don't know, depending on in your area, what those large companies will pay. Like for me, as far as like you know, these big companies paying me, like lowest they'll pay is like from 300 to 350. Average, it's averaging out to like a 600 to an 800 to a $900 per day, which like I don't know, I feel like people might not believe that, but it does make sense because I'm doing like big pressure washing jobs. And so as far as like the hourly pay for it could like be for anywhere from like 80 to like $150 an hour, which is like absolutely amazing. And that's done without you marketing or anything. They literally are just sending you work. So here's what you get out of it. You're getting the fast cash flow, you know, marketing needed, hands-on training, exposure to those high-paying neighborhoods, and a real understanding of what a top-tier service looks like. And while you're doing that, you're going to save your money, you're learning, you're building relationships, and when you're ready to step out completely on your own, you're not guessing, you're scaling something that like it's already working. So now, after all that, you got some money saved up, right? You're ready to brand. So branding is powerful, but only works if it's built on results. So once you have the money saved up, the system's dialed in, referrals rolling in, here's where you start to brand. You know, made a simple website, nothing fancy, just offered the services offered, pricing info. You know, you don't even have to put pricing info, and a form to contact, right? So I bought some truck magnets. You know, this is just starting off branding, very simple branding. Printed out some flyers, and then, you know, asked some past customers to leave some Google reviews, and then now, you know, what's the difference? So now I run ads. Now when people sees my truck, sees my Google name, finds my site, there's like some proof behind it. There's a lot of work behind it, right? There's like, it's not like you just started out, you set something up and you run ads, it won't work. So if you're wondering when to brand, the answer is once you've proven the offer, once you've done the jobs, after you know what people actually want. And that's when your brand becomes an amplifier, not a distraction. And so to close, here's the blueprint. If you're watching this wondering if you can do it, I'm telling you, you can. You know, I started with no clients, no gear, no online presence. And so I've done over $25,000 of jobs in the last 4.5 months. Here's the blueprint. Sell before you brand, sweat equity before ad spend. Start with gear that you can afford. Use deposits to get what you need. Take rejection as repetition. Subcontract, become a subcontractor for the large companies and start stacking your cash, and then brand, right? And then you brand, then you spend money on the ads. And if that helped, guys, hit the subscribe button. I'm documenting this entire journey so you can follow me and build your step by step. And so, guys, so if you want to start, if you're starting, hit the follow button. I'd love to see what you guys are doing as well. If you found this video helpful, just let me know in the comments or some shit, I don't know. But all right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.